Hey everyone, and welcome. So if you're watching this, you're not just studying for some test, are you? No, you are making a serious career move. And today, we're going to lay out a super clear, no-fluff roadmap to help you absolutely crush the CRCST exam and unlock that next chapter in sterile processing. So let's just jump right in. I love this quote because it is so true. Right now, you're not just memorizing facts, you are preparing for a huge opportunity. The exam? That's your moment. And when you prepare the right way, success isn't just some random thing that might happen, it's something you can pretty much count on. So let's go get it. And let's be real about what's on the line here. We're talking money. Right out of the gate, getting certified means, on average, a 10 to 15% pay bump. I mean, that's not just about bragging rights. That is a real, tangible upgrade to your life. Okay, so Section 1, the quest for certification. Let's dig into why this exam is way more than just a test. It's the key to your next big career move.
See, this certification is recognized all over the world, and that means your resume instantly gets a massive boost. Suddenly, doors start opening at the best hospitals, those cool specialized surgical centers, and all sorts of outpatient facilities. It really gives you the security and, the power to choose where you want to take your skills. All right, you can't win a fight if you don't know your opponent, right? So let's treat this exam like one. We're going to break it down piece by piece, find its weak spots, and figure out the perfect strategy to win. Now take a look at this. This chart is basically the whole game plan. See those two huge slices, processing and sterilization and safety and management? Together, that's a whopping 60% of your entire score. The other two sections are just 20% each. So this tells us exactly where we need to spend our time to get the most points.
And here it is. This is the insider tip you need to hear. That big 30% slice, processing and sterilization, well, that's the exact spot where most people get stuck. It's not just the biggest part of the exam, it's also the trickiest. So, you know what that means? We're going to put a laser focus right there. And this right here shows you why that focus is so important. Look, the average person passing for the first time is somewhere in the 70 to 75% range, and that's fine. But we're not aiming for average, are we? Nope. Our goal is to be in that strategic preparation group, way above the average, and you can totally do that.
So we know where to aim. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of what to study. In this next section, we're going to pinpoint the exact topics that give you the biggest bang for your buck, study-wise. First up, decontamination and infection control. Okay, you've got to know the difference between spores and bacteria. It's a classic. You also need to know the PPE protocols and how to handle contaminated instruments like it's second nature. And of course, be totally fluent in the OSHA and CDC guidelines. These are guaranteed points on the exam.
All right, now for the big one, that 30% beast. Processing, packaging, and sterilization. You have to know the different methods, steam, EO, low temp, inside and out. You've got to understand what those biological and chemical indicators are actually telling you. And you need to be a pro at instrument inspection and assembly. You really want to nail this section. And then there's the other 30% giant, safety and quality assurance. What's key here? Handling hazardous materials for sure. Knowing how to read a safety data sheet and what to do with that info. And, of course, understanding why documentation and traceability are so critical. These are absolute must-knows. Okay, here's a little pro tip that is going to save you so much. Of this stuff comes down to just remembering numbers, right? So do yourself a favor, make flashcards. Seriously, put all the sterilization times, the different temperatures, the chemical concentrations on them. They come up all the time, and they are basically free points if you've got them memorized.
All right, so we've got the what to study down. Now let's build your winning game plan for how to study. We're going to cover everything from smart prep all the way to how you execute on the big day. So how do you prep smart? Well, step 1, you got to use the official study guides from HSPA or CBSPD. They literally make the test, so that's your blueprint. Step 2, take a ton of practice exams to figure out where you're struggling. Step 3, once you find those weak spots, you attack them. And finally, don't sleep on study groups. Trying to explain a concept to someone else is one of the best ways to lock it in your own brain. And look, I know life is busy. Don't get overwhelmed thinking you need to live in a library for the next month. You don't. Just 30 to 60 minutes of truly focused study time each day for a few weeks, that's really all it takes to nail these chapters. Remember, consistency is way better than cramming.
Now let's talk about the final push. The days right before the exam are all about trusting the work you've put in. just do some light review of those key topics. But on exam day, the strategy completely shifts. It's all about execution. You get there early. You read every single question carefully. You watch the clock. And you use the process of elimination. Sometimes knowing what's wrong gets you to what's right. And that brings us to our final section, claiming your victory. This is the fun part. This is where all that effort and focus pays off, and we turn all that preparation into real-world professional success.
When you boil it all down, it really comes down to this simple formula. You've done the preparation. You've had the focus. The only thing left to add is just believing that you can do it. You put those three things together, and honestly, you're unstoppable.
You've got the knowledge, you've got the strategy, you've got the plan. Now, you just have to go and do it. Remember, this exam, it isn't the finish line. It's the starting line for the next phase of your career. So the real question isn't if you're going to pass, it's what are you going to do with all the opportunities that are about to open up for you. Now go claim your future. You've got this.